Okay, this is a hydraulic tube replacement, 5/8 tubing. We're just going to show a basic example of how we do it. Okay. We've got a 5/8 bender. This is an Imperial Eastman bender, 5/8. And I've already pre-cut the tubes. You got to replace the one tube on here, and then we're going to make a couple extra for the customer. So we're trying to get these bends as tight as possible so this tube doesn't sit up. You have to have room to get the flaring tool on there. So we're gonna take this 4 inches. So what is this in here? And we're gonna go 4 inches. Take your marker. Mark the 4 inches. Okay, we'll do the first bend. Okay. So you come off here. There's a little mark on here for a right hand bend to give this 4 inches. So you'll bend it. Okay. We go to the 90 mark. Okay, get the 90-degree bend. That's what it looks like. Okay, that's basically what that one is there. So we'll go 4-inch bend. You can see. So now you got to measure the center to center on these ports. Okay, so it's 15 inches of center. Center to center. Put it on the 1, burn it 16 inches, so it's 15 inches. Okay, so what we got to do is you want to measure from the center of the tube, you always go on the centers, to the next line, 15 inches. Okay, so we're going to go here. Okay, here you can see it. I'm going to put the 1 on the center of the tube. You got to be pretty close on this. I'm going to come to 16, mark it. So that would give me 15 inches center to center. Just double check that. Okay, that's good. So I got it. Now, in another video I'll show about the bending. You know, I used to plumb machines and all day long and bend tube. But there's certain little tricks on this thing that you got to do. And the marks to get the right bends and all this. So I'm not on the right bend now, but I'm going to get that where I want, try to get that straight. Okay. And so here we go. Bend it a little more. I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit. Okay. So what I want to see before I pull it out, I want to check the measurement. Outside, inside. Okay, I'm a little sprung here. A little sprung. So I'm going to pretty damn close right there. Okay. So we got about 15 inch, I can tell. It's pretty darn close. We can manipulate that a little bit. Okay, then what you have to do is you want to make this side the same. 4 inches. So we need to take another mark. Center, it's always on center. So from the center of that to where I'm going to cut it is going to be 4 inches. Take a little little Sharpie. You can see my mark here, right there. Now you got a cutter, tubing cutter. Now this is a Blue Point or a Snap-on tube cutter. You can use a rigid cutter. I like this because of the way that this handle is, but you can do it with a rigid one, just the same. When you're doing a lot, this one's real handy in your hand. Okay, so we're going to cut this off at 4 inches. Okay, and just kind of roll it around, tighten it a little each time. This is 5/8 tubing, which is not real common. When I'm doing it, this is what happens to be on this cylinder. I use 1/2 inch or 3/4. You know, if it has to be, but they use 5/8, and you know, a lot of people don't have them. Okay, so now you got that. Now, what you're going to do is, I got this little tool I made, and it's basically a reamer. You want to get the burr off in here. Okay, and I'll show you why later, why that burr, you don't want that when you're flaring it. So you're going to work that out. Same thing on this side. Take the burr from the cutout, twist this around, clean that up. This is another type of a deal. It's got a thing where you can go like this on the back and do this and this. It's another kind, but I like my other one, so we're not going to use that. Then you're going to take a file and you're going to work the little burrs off here, go around the edge. And when you're flaring it, you don't want to split the tube. You want to get all the, make a nice, get the burrs off. Okay? It just makes a nicer flare on the outside edge. We do both ends. Let's go. So now the flaring tool, this is another Imperial Eastman. This is the best kind. I don't have a model number on it, but over the years, wait a minute, catalog number 400F, oil rollers. Now, this is Imperial Eastman. You can get this out of McMaster Carr. Okay, I like these the best. We have some powered flaring tools, but we're going to do this by hand. Okay, so we're going to put this in here. Make it easy. Just put it in the vise. Okay. Now, I you can see what I did here. I took the ferrule here. Okay. And this one, this is what they look like. I ground this down. And here's another one. I pre-ground it. There's a burr in here. So you're going to clean this out. The reason you got to grind this down is because this bend is so tight. I got to get it up out of the way just to get the flaring tool on it to be able to flare it. So sometimes you got to do this because I don't want this thing sitting up way high. It's already too high. But this flaring tool, somebody else has already done this one, okay? And I can see that same thing. So I'll just take this burr off, okay? And so you're going to put this on here, and you'll see what I want to do is I want to get this thing around the end, because get it out of the way. See, once it get down there, if that was a full ferrule, it wouldn't go down. I need this room to get this on here. Okay, so you take this, it's another part of the tool. You see how that, you got to have the room. If this thing was up here, I wouldn't be able to get it. See, it doesn't give me enough room, so I need to knock it back to get it over that bend, and that's why I ground that down a little bit. Now, you don't do that all the time, but it's just the way this bend is. But see, the room I need here to get the flare. Okay, so basically, okay, you stick it in here, turn this all the way back. Now, you're going to want to use some Never Sees on your rollers. I like using this Blue Monster Never Sees. There's some rollers in here. I just put a little on here. It just makes it go smoother on the metal, makes a cleaner flare. So you got that in there. Pull this all the way back. Get this all the way back. Okay. Taking that down. Somewhere I had a wrench for this. There it is. It's a 3/4 wrench. Tighten this up. nice flare. Make sure there's no sharp edges. If you got a little sharp edges, just take them off. Okay, that's basically done. Okay, so then we're going to knock the ferrule down. Okay, see the ferrule now, it sits on there. That's how you're going to lock this thing down. Then take your nut and get it on there. Make sure you do it the right way. Sets down, goes right over the ferrule, just like that. See that? Locks it down. I'm just going to double check this. See, I'm real close. It's pretty much perfect. I can manipulate it. It's right on the money. Just a little bit of a tweak with this, and I'll get it right on there. Just a little tweak. Okay. So now we got that. So here we go. So now, take your other nut so you don't forget. Put it on the right way. Okay, put this on the right way. Let it go down. We've got this other one. You can see I use this vice grip to grind that angle on here. Okay, so we're going to make sure the burr's out of it. Okay, so you're going to slip that on. You already got the nut on. Make sure you put this on the right way. When you're doing a lot of this, sometimes you forget, make mistakes, and you screw the whole thing up. Okay, you got it down. I want to knock it down the side. Give you some room. And you get it down there on that bend. Okay, same process. Little never sees on the rollers. This helps out. Okay, that's on there. Double check. That's all right. That's right. Okay, put this in there. Push it up. Tighten this down.